The Creature from the Black Lagoon was the last of the original Universal Studios monsters. It was a 1954 film, and so it was right at the edge. It was right at the edge where the monsters were becoming less popular. In the 1950s, it was more about science fiction, and it was kind of the Cold War scenarios, like those sort of things. But it is unique among the Universal monsters because it's actually a creature. Most of the times, I guess it was called the Gill Man. It doesn't start as a man. You know, most of them, like the Mummy, for instance, or Dracula. I guess they technically start as people, but this one is a creature from the Amazon. Then we're going to take a look today at this Steelbook. I believe this is a Walmart exclusive Steelbook, and that's where I got it. And recently I did a review of this Mummy Steelbook. I also got from the Walmart. Actually, I got these directly from Walmart, but I think you can get them from their site as well. And fairly impressive Steelbook collections. And here's I do have a Blu-ray as well of this Creature from the Black Lagoon. I got a Blu-ray of all of them. I got the set that's got them all in there. And the thing about the Blu-ray version here, unlike this one only has the movie in it, the original movie, The Creature from the Black Lagoon. This one has all three of them. It's a trilogy: the Revenge of the Creature and The Creature Walks Among Us. That was from 1955 and 1956. So they did one for every year, and then they're like, okay, we're done with these monsters. That's it. If you would do me a favor though, and go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm Dave Watkins, Watkins Films. Now, another interesting thing about The Creature from the Black Lagoon is it was originally shot in 3D, and it was kind of a test thing for this new 3D technology. So people were going to the theater and they're wearing glasses. And I've never seen the film in 3D, unfortunately. There is a copy of it in here, but only on the Blu-ray. But you have to have some kind of you have to have a special Blu-ray player that will play a 3D disc, so I couldn't watch it, unfortunately, in 3D. I would be interesting to see it, though. 3D is kind of a little annoying to me. After a little bit of seeing it, I kind of start to get a little dizzy. I don't know if you do the same thing, but it kind of gets me a little bit after watching it for a while. But it is interesting that the film was shot in 3D, and there's some amazing underwater photography in this movie, and that really stands out. Now, the underwater photography it's probably more impressive. I mean, it's impressive. I remember the first time I saw this, like a long time ago, I was pretty impressed by the amount of underwater photography in this film. But I think in 3D it might be even more enchanting seeing that underwater stuff. All right, I punched in here, and we're going to take a look at this packaging first. Now here is this Walmart Steelbook. When I say Walmart, it makes it sound not very good, but it is a very impressive Steelbook. Here's the back side of it. I really do like the artwork on these Steelbooks. And there is a Dracula one. Unfortunately, I'd already bought this one, so I didn't double dip on Dracula, but there is a pretty good one with some nice artwork. And as I showed you earlier, and you can check out my review video of it, the Mummy is also some very nice artwork on it. On the inside of here, there are two discs. There's also some additional kind of artwork here. You see the creature. There's two discs. There's a 4K UHD and the Blu-ray. Now the Blu-ray disc is the same disc, and I checked it out just to verify it. It's the same disc that's in this collection. Now what I think is really cool about The Creature from the Black Lagoon, especially the first one, a lot of it takes place in the Amazon, on this river where the Black Lagoon is at the end of it. Like they find a fossil of a creature's hand. While they find the fossil of that hand, like the real creature's hand's like coming out of the water when they're not seeing it. Like I guess the creature doesn't like it that they're taking the fossil, but then they go back to go get more people to come back and dig out the rest of the fossil. But then they don't find it, so then they say, okay, there's a lagoon at the end of this river where the fossils may have washed down to there. When they go down there to find the fossil, then that's when the creature starts attacking them. They kind of get into his territory, and then he starts attacking them. And then after that, they want to trap the creature or shoot him and bring him back to analyze it more. But I do like the location. I think it's a cool location. It was shot on location in Florida, and also a lot of it was shot on the back lot at Universal Studios. It's kind of funny too, because the way the creature's revealed here, it kind of like you keep seeing hands or feet. the creature and things of that nature. Like, you don't see it very good, and all of a sudden, about 24 minutes in, it just like bam, there he is. So you just see him like really good, and then from then on, you see him a lot, and the suit looks really cool. It's a pretty well put together suit. It's fairly convincing. Two actors played the creature. One guy who was the swimmer in the water when they did the underwater photography with it, and then the other guy is when he's on land as a bigger dude. So they had like two different people. Neither one of them were credited, unfortunately. It was kind of ridiculous. It was something that they did back then. They didn't credit the person in the suit for some reason, but they both do a really good job of the monster. Now, it's funny that the music here is kind of interesting because like every time it shows the creature, it's like all loud, and it's like, do we really need to be that dramatic with it? I mean, it's a little much. It's especially when nothing that much is going on. It would have been nicer. It would have been nicer if they were a little more subtle with it. I did like it when something happens, but did we really need it like that, like this every time? You know, maybe could have toned that down a bit. But I think maybe people at the time in the theater, every time they heard that, they were probably like, whoa, like that sort of thing. It was probably really alarm them. Like their attention was just like, okay, I got to get out of this theater. No more of this. For me, the creature from the Black Lagoon, it's like the way that the creature looks. It is very iconic. I think that most people, even if they've never seen the movie, if they saw like a picture of the creature or an action figure of the creature from the Black Lagoon, they would immediately recognize it and identify it. And I think that it's a very unique design, and it really stands out. So this was a 1954 film, and so King Kong came out in 1933. And I do see some parallels between the King Kong story and this story, with the creature kind of connecting to the female lead here, and just kind of following her and kind of almost becoming infatuated with her. And it's that sequence at the end when the creature gets the lead actress, Julia Adams, who's playing Kay, and he's carrying her around like this. It's such an iconic scene. It's just fantastic. Now, as far as the way that there's a 4K and a Blu-ray in here, and it's odd. Like the Blu-ray looks really good. It's really solid. And I've looked at this 4K, and I looked at both of them, and I didn't see a huge jump in quality. Now, this is a black and white film, but the blacks do look deeper. In general, the picture looks a little darker, but the blacks are deeper, and then the highlights and the midtones are up a little more, but it looks it's very clean. This is a very well preserved film, and most of the Universal monster films have been very well preserved because they've been released over the years and cleaned up, and it looks fantastic in 4K and Blu-ray. So I'm not sure which one. Well, the 4K is going to be better. It does have a darker image, but I think it looks good in Blu-ray as well. Now, I will say without a doubt, the parts of this film do feel a little dated, but the film's atmosphere and just the ambition of the whole project, it really holds up well. I think that in the interplay, I think the acting in general is very well done. I think that the characters are, for the most part, very believable. The film did spawn two sequels, The Revenge of the Creature and The Creature Walks Among Us. And it's really like a trilogy, and it follows the progression of the creature as he is later it seems like he dies at the end of the film, and I guess technically he does, but they bring him back in the sequel, and they capture him, and they bring him and put him in an aquarium, and then later on he escapes, and I think he might get killed again, but then in the third one, they do some operation on him, and they turn him into a part human, part fish, where he's not able to go into the water again, and he eventually goes berserk. But it kind of follows this creature through a trilogy of films, and it was the last of the Universal films. The only thing they were making during this time period was the Abbott and Costello films, and after that, this is the end of the classic era of Universal monsters, unfortunately. All right, I'm going to go ahead and rate this film on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. I'm going to rate The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm going to give it a 4-star rating. I think this is a very iconic film. I think that there is, of the Universal films, this one's the other ones other than this one, for the most part, have a kind of a gothic sensibility. This one kind of is a bridge between that gothic sensibility of the earlier of the earlier Universal monster films to this new kind of 1950s science fiction age where the Cold War was going on, and people had a lot of fears and anxieties about that sort of thing, and there was a lot more stuff about science and the unknown. As far as this Steelbook release, I'm going to also give it a 4-star rating. I don't have a lot of complaints about it. I do like the imagery here on the front of it. I think that's fantastic. Well, let me know what you think about the creature from the Black Lagoon in this Walmart Steelbook. And if you would go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm Dave Watkins. Thanks for watching.